live. Beauty is not the color of your skin. It's not the texture of your hair. Beauty is not your height. It's not your size. Beauty is who you are. And so please let that be the reminder that you are beautiful, dear woman. And you should never allow yourself to succumb to any pressure of the society that says you have to be this tall, you have to be this fair or this dark, you have to be this size for you to be regarded as beautiful. And that's what we're talking this morning on Soul Sisters about dangerous beauty trends. Turns out that I've been living under a rock and I am not aware of some of the things that women do. And so when I came across a video that was made by my guest today, I was appalled. As they would say, I was flabberwhelmed and overgasted. And I said, we need to talk about this. Yes, they say that beauty is pain, but it looks like these days that it's becoming too literal. And so this morning, we need to peel back the filters and have this unfiltered conversation about those things that you are doing that could be killing you. I mean, in the moment, you look good, you're glowing, and you get all the compliments from people. But in the long run, what shall it profit a sister to get all the compliments and lose your kidneys? So please join us today from now till 11:55 as we discuss dangerous beauty trends. My name is Oluwaseun Olusegun. And if you're joining us on YouTube, you would have seen the notification and you see the gorgeous face of my guest on Zoom, who's joining me via Zoom from many continents away. She is a passionate educator. No matter what it is that you say, she keeps putting out the videos that educate people and women on different causes relating to their health, reproductive, fertility, and so on. And she's fondly and popularly known as Dr. O. Check with Dr. O. So please welcome with me, Dr. Olufemi Idowu. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing today?
I am well. Thank you for waking up so early to be with me.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me on the show. It's always an exciting time to join you to have these conversations.
Thank you. And we are going to dive into that video that made me say, Dr. O, we need to talk
Mm-hmm.
about how people don't get drips because they're dehydrated or they need to do something in their body because they are sick or the doctor prescribed it. They go to a spa and what you have in the drip is vitamin C or whatever, glutathione or whatever they call it. That is insane. Please talk to me about it.
Yeah, you know what? When I first of all discovered it, I was as shocked as you are because I was like we literally beg people to come to the hospital for checkup, for treatment, all that. But you rather go to a spa just to make your skin look good, right? So it shows what our priorities are like in this part of the world, right? And the worst thing is when women go for these treatments, they don't even do like research or due diligence that okay, this person has given me the drip. What does it contain? What are the effects on my body? Is this person licensed to be administering these sort of things? Right? They don't realize that there is a lot of danger in what they are doing. So, for example, this vitamin C drip that we're talking about. So, there's vitamin C, there is the glutathione. Why are they taking it? To make their skin look good, to make their skin look fresh, to let it glow, even for some of them, for skin lightening, right? All in the name of achieving that, you know, beautiful look and all that. But what they don't realize is these drips, right? They are supposed to be administered under medical supervision because anything can go wrong. Like even in the hospital, when you're administering drip, it's not just anybody that does it, right? It's either the doctor or the nurse, right? Why is that? Because when you are administering drip, you are going directly into the bloodstream, right? So normally when you eat and everything, food will pass into your mouth, it will go into your stomach. Your stomach will first of all digest, then your liver will filter out toxins, that is poisons, chemicals, things that can be harmful, harmful waste. Your liver will remove it. Your kidneys also filter out toxins. But when you are going directly into the bloodstream, you are bypassing this mechanism. So what it means is that First of all, anything you are getting directly into the bloodstream is going into your body in higher doses than if
Mm,
you are taking it through your mouth, right? Which means if something is harmful, it's going to harm you much faster. So, for example, this skin lightening now, let's talk about the possible risks. If somebody were to administer it and the person is not licensed, they don't know the precautions to take. So, first of all, there's the risk of one, if you don't take the necessary precautions, you don't disinfect, you don't do it under what is called sterile conditions, that's clean, free of bacteria, you can introduce infection to the
mm,
person, right? Apart from that, when administering drips, any tiny like air, air can get into that the tube, the cannula that's used to administer that drip. If a substantial amount of air gets in, there's something called air embolism, where air gets into your bloodstream. That can lead to instant death. That's
mm,
one. The second one is sometimes because they are not licensed, they're not able to calculate the dose. For every type of drug you're administering, especially through the veins, there's a specific dose you're supposed to give, and there's an amount that is supposed to go into your bloodstream per time. So if you don't calculate and titrate this dose appropriately, you might have something called fluid overdose, where you have excess fluid going into the body at once. What that can lead to, it can lead to kidney damage. So you can have because the kidneys are the ones that are filtering out toxins and everything, and that help to, every time you take fluid, excess fluid, your kidneys, you pass it out as urine. So when you overwhelm your kidneys, you can damage your kidneys, right? And then even vitamin C in excess doses can become harmful to the kidney and to the liver, because they are the ones
mm,
that are filtering out these excess toxins in the body, right? So the risk comes when you have somebody that is not knowledgeable, is not a medical practitioner administering these things, because they are not aware of all these dosages, precautions, and everything that they are supposed to take, right? And that's when you see people harming themselves unknowingly, right? For some, it might be instant. For some, continued use. When you continue, because a lot of these women, they don't go for this treatment. It's not a one-off treatment. It's something they go
mm.
for happily. They will go to the place, go for it regularly. But if them come to the hospital, they won't come home. Happily, they will go to this part to go and see that receiving drip. They now put themselves on social media and having like skin glow and whatever. And I'm just like, this person that is administering, some people we've had like, for example, this BBL and everything that we're going to talk about, right? We've had that some people just went for treatment. You want to look good. They never came back alive, right? So, women, whenever we're looking at these things, you should ask yourself, this person that is administering it, are they licensed? Do they know what they are doing, right? What are the possible risks? They're putting something into your bloodstream, for goodness sake. That thing can kill you instantly. Have you even checked that what they're administering is it, first of all, is it fake or original? Is it
Mm.
from a recognized pharmacy? Is it expired? Have you checked the expiry date? Some of them don't even look at the expiry date of some of these things that they give them, right? When the person was administered, did you check that they opened the needle in your presence, the cannula, to make sure that they are not reusing needles, right? Or they haven't opened one they wanted to use for someone, they now did not use it, they now left it open. The moment you open it from that pack, it's no longer sterile. Even if no one else has used it, bacteria,
Mm.
everything has gone on it. So it can't go into your veins. So anyway, let me just stop there for now, because I don't know if you have questions or something.
Yes, we'll have follow-up questions, but we need to take a breather. And when we come back, we'll keep flogging this issue and many others that are under this topic of dangerous beauty trends. And if you're just joining us for the first time, this show is called Soul Sisters. Here, we are very passionate about causes that relate to the women. And today, we are also very passionate about talking to her about her maintaining her beauty. And again, beauty is not a skin tone. It's not about the shape of your brows or how full your eyelashes are. Beautiful is who you are, and you need to first understand that before you go for some body or facial enhancement procedures that can end up killing you. So I have dragged from the comfort of our home Dr. O to come and talk to us about this. So I need you to make sure that you are tuned in and you don't even move a muscle, because you're listening to Soul Sisters on Smooth 98.1. And you are listening to Smooth 98.1. So I was talking right before coming on, I was talking with one of my friends in the studio, and I said that why do women do this? Is it because you want to look more appealing to men? Is it because of your esteem? Because if you say this is something that I'm doing for myself, Okay. If you're doing it for yourself, then stay inside your room.
Exactly.
Because at the end of the day, you care about the compliments from the men and the
Ex-
women.
Exactly.
It
Exactly.
just makes no sense. All right, we need to come back. So we'll talk a little bit about why do we do this?
Mhm.
Love music and love life. Love the women so much. We want them to stay alive. And that is why we're talking about this dangerous beauty trends. By the way, you can always join the conversation by sending your messages to WhatsApp 0911 999 0981. And you can go behind the scene and join us on YouTube at Smooth 981 FM Lagos. At Smooth 981 FM Lagos. So before the breather, Dr. U was talking to us about injecting yourself or going to a spa to get the IV, vitamin C and glutathione IV, getting straight into your bloodstream. And she talked about the danger there. But I'm concerned about why women do this. Again, this might be a very sensitive part, but they would often say that I'm doing this for myself. I'm doing this for my self-esteem. And, Dr. O, is it really true?
To be honest, most of the times I doubt it is true, right? I mean, I'm not in their minds. I can't say why they do it, but a lot of times, one, it boils down to low self-esteem. So they're looking for validation, external validation, people to tell them, oh, you look good, your skin is glowing, Uh, the problem is that a lot of women have not learned to be comfortable in their own skin, right? You see women that feel like they need to be light skinned for
Mm-hmm.
them to be considered as being beautiful. You see women that feel like they need to have big boobs or a big bum for them to be considered as being beautiful, right? Some women cannot even come out in public without putting makeup on, right? It's that deep. So I think women need to stop deceiving themselves that, oh, I'm doing it for myself. Like you said, if you're doing it for yourself, then stay in your house after doing it now. But no, you always come and show up, you'll be on social media. I mean, you're taking the injection and you're posting it happily. I'm doing my stuff. That's not for yourself. If not, it won't be out there on social media. You are doing it because you want external validation. But first of all, you have to love yourself before you expect others to love you. It's very important that you are comfortable in your own skin. And I think that's the message we're trying to pass to women today. You are beautiful just the way you are. Be comfortable with your own skin. You don't have to wait for someone to tell you that you are beautiful. Tell yourself you are beautiful. You don't need bigger boobs, bigger bum, lighter skin before you can be considered as beautiful.
On WhatsApp, I have author who says, Good morning, Jill. Few questions. Number one, does it actually work? Number two, is it the same vitamin C with the tablets? And number three, if it's the same with the tablets, does that mean taking vitamin C tablets can work for beauty enhancements?
So, yes, vitamin C is good for the skin, it's good for the hair, it's good for the nails, just as well as vitamin E, right? So, taking a lot of vitamin C can make your skin look good, but it's not just vitamin C. Vitamin
Mm.
C combined with drinking a lot of water, right, and sleeping well. Take all the vitamin C you want. If you don't get good rest, your skin is not going to glow, right? So it doesn't work in isolation. It works in combination with some other factors. And yes, the vitamin C they are taking IV is the same as the one they are taking orally. That's why I don't get why people are going to this part to take. And by the way, this thing is not cheap. Oh.
Hmm.
They will charge them exorbitant prices to get IV vitamin C when you can just get the same vitamin C from supplements, that's oral tablets, or you can even take it from fruits, your orange, your tangerine, your lemon, your grapefruit. They all have vitamin C inside it, right? So it doesn't make sense that women are actually going through this risky procedure just to get the same vitamin C that anybody can get from fruits and supplements. And I think what was the last question that he asked? I think it was like
Yeah,
a good.
you've answered it about does that mean taking vitamin C tablets can work for beauty enhancement? Yes, you've
It can.
answered that one.
Mhm.
All right, let's move to another. And this one, before I even ask the question, I'll precede it with the story or with the video of Tenny Ola Akpata. That's Tenny the entertainer. I think it was
Mhm.
last week or 2 weeks ago where she was a bridesmaid at a wedding. Now, we know that Tenny can be very funny. She's got a great sense of humor. And she transformed into a different Cinderella, where she was wearing a gown and a corset dress. And she said, Who sent me to go wear this? Because I can hardly breathe. I can't
Mhm.
even eat. I can drink water. So that
Mm-hmm.
brings me to the issue of waist trainers and extreme compression garments, and also the rapid waist reduction methods and whatever it is that we wear these days just to look snatched and almost snatch our soul out of our body. Feel about it, please.
Mm-hmm. So the thing about waist trainers is everybody wants flat tummy, everybody wants figure eight, but the question is at what cost, right? Especially when women wear these waist trainers and they make it so tight. First of all, when you wear the waist trainers, this middle part of your body, so from below your breasts all the way to your waist, right? The organs there. There's your stomach, there's your intestines, there's your liver, and then of course just above that is your chest that has your lungs, and there's something called the diaphragm that separates your lungs from your abdominal organs. So when you now wear waist trainers, you are squeezing your abdominal organs, right? You are compressing it. So the first thing some women might experience prolonged use is acid reflux, right? Because your stomach has acid that helps to digest the food. When you squeeze it, you're pushing this fluid back up your chest. So you start to feel heartburn. Acid reflux is commonly known as heartburn. That's the first thing you notice. Then, when you notice that, you know that you're doing too much. You need to either stop the waist trainers or losing it a bit, right? Then the next thing is that these some women, they can't breathe well, like Tenny was complaining. Why? Because for you to be able to breathe, right? When you breathe in air, your chest expands. For expansion to happen, there needs to be space. You have already constricted the space that your chest is meant to move downward because you have put waist trainer there. So your chest can't even move down to take in enough air. So that's when you find out that you are struggling to breathe or you cannot breathe well. And in extreme situations, some women have actually suffocated, right? Because when you can't breathe well, you don't get enough oxygen. You might actually start getting dizzy and you faint, right? That's one of the things. And then apart from that, prolonged use, you make your core muscles. So your muscles in your abdomen, they're your core muscles. They help to like hold in place your intestines, your stomach, and all that. When you keep using waist trainer all the time, the muscles can get lazy, right? Since waist trainer is quickly doing the work, the muscles are no longer doing the work to hold these organs in place, right? So the muscles get lazy. And before you know it, when you have stopped using the waist trainer, over time, you are having big tummy. You're trying to get flat tummy, but your tummy is only flat when you're using the waist trainer. Prolonged use, your tummy is even getting bigger, right? So, what is the alternative to using waist trainers? Hmm, you can use waist trainers temporarily, right? And don't make it too tight. Temporarily meaning you only using it once in a while, and maybe just for 1 or 2 hours or something. Maybe just to take pictures or something to make yourself look good. Don't make it something you're wearing prolonged. If you really want a flat tummy, then you need to put in the work. What is the work? We all know it is exercise, right? You need to burn the fat. If you have excess fat there, do cardio to burn the fat. And then after that, do push-ups, right? To train your core muscles, right? To be firm. And it's not going to happen overnight. It takes time. So you have to be consistent, right? Because trust me, I know exercising and being consistent with your exercise routine is not easy. But that's why it helps to have a personal trainer, or if you can't afford a personal trainer, a friend that will hold you accountable. Have you done your push-ups today? Have you done your sit-ups today? Right? All this kind of thing. So yes, waist trainers can give you that temporary illusion of a flat tummy, but it comes with its risk. And the truth is that by the time you take off the waist trainers and with prolonged use, your tummy is even bigger at the end of the day because your core muscles are no longer able to support those organs and hold them inside.
Before I even talk about how appalled I am at this, because I didn't know, because it looks like it's doing the opposite of what this thing is marketed for. Well, before I even talk about that, I think it's also important to include stop eating like, how does Dr. Monisola put it? Like a hoodlum. We have hoodlums these days. People who eat such huge portions consume so much calories and they
Mhm.
expect the waist trainer to do the magic. But
Exactly.
I didn't even know because I was going to ask you the question. So, do waist trainers work? Turns out that they do opposite of what they sell them for.
They don't work. It's just a temporary fix. Of course, when you squeeze your whole thing in, it looks good. By the time you take it off, everything is back. And using it prolonged, you weaken the core muscles. And then you're now going to have to put in extra work to naturally have a flat tummy.
This flat on me. This flat on me. Must we have flat tummy? I mean, how do they say it? Now tummy we get to not keep us saying this flat tummy.
You person.
Join the conversation on WhatsApp 0911 999 0981. Again, 0911 999 0981. I'm going to take a message from Chimizi. He says, this conversation is timely. It scares me the way I see that our women do what I see. It scares me the way I see what our women do to get likes and compliments. As the doc has earlier said, this is a low self-esteem issue. For me, this can be traced back to family values and upbringing. Most parents didn't do a good job in raising children that are comfortable with themselves. They always compare themselves to so and so child, etc. This child constantly hearing what they're not good, that they're not good enough, tends to grow up with that mentality. Then they seek ways to redeem their image. For our girls, they resort to these behaviors just to get the validations they crave from childhood. Do you want to quickly say something about that as touching parents and
Yeah,
the contribution?
yeah, I think I agree because parents, especially growing up in Nigerian homes, sometimes parents forget to give their children the necessary affirmations that they need to hear. You're beautiful, you're loved, you look good. You don't need anybody to tell you, right, that this is who you are, right? So children learn about their identity first from parents before anyone else. So parents actually have a role to play in building the confidence of their kids, right? When the parents feel like this, then it's left to kids to struggle to build the confidence on their own. Some people never do, right? And they end up relying on external validation to build their confidence and self-esteem. But people that come from homes where they are loved, where they are constantly told this that they are beautiful, it builds their confidence, and you don't see such people trying to, and then sometimes in Nigerian homes, they even break the confidence of the child because they start to make fun of them. It's from your house, they start making fun of you. Fatty bum bum, big hair, this one. We have to be careful the words we say to our kids because we don't know that it's planting a seed that will later affect their self-esteem.
Indeed. Thank you very much. And when we come back, we will talk about hair lash and eyelash. At first, we were just attaching the eyelashes. These days, we're having semi-permanent and permanent. It's even worse that I saw something like semi-permanent makeup. I mean, why? Why are we having semi-permanent foundation? That thing is supposed to be wiped off.
Exactly.
Why the craze of I woke up like this? We'll talk about that right after this. Crazy things are happening.
They are really happening now. You hear also time like now, wow, to
You said?
achieve what at the end of the day. No, like you wonder, like all this stress to achieve what at the end of the day.
What is the end game? For a couple of people to tell you you look beautiful.
Exactly. Or for likes.
I mean, do people actually think about what could go wrong? Like you could die.
Exactly. I think it's just ignorance. Some people don't know that there is this much risk associated with some of these things, right? If they knew, they wouldn't engage in it. And some people know, but they still go it regardless. Like people that do BBL. I think there's so much information out there about how dangerous. I mean, we've seen people that have died from it. So they can't say they don't know the risk, but they would rather take the risk anyway.
I mean, imagine showing up to the gates of heaven and they say, Angel Gabriel, waiting kill him. Now BBL.
Exactly.
Like what the hell? Why?
It makes no sense at all.
Dear. Go back.
And real R&B here on Smooth 98.1. Who said soul music is dead? Not me.
Thank you for joining us and staying tuned to Smooth 98.1. You are listening to Soul Sisters. And this morning, the 22nd of October, 2025, We are talking about dangerous beauty trends. You can join us. Share with us what it is that you have seen that you know has serious, grave health implications. The WhatsApp line is 0911 999 0981. And you can join us on YouTube at Smooth 981 FM Lagos. We're talking about this because, as my guest, Dr. Olufemi Idowu, said, many people are ignorant about it, about everything that could go wrong, the implication. Because imagine dying as a result of BBL and you show up to the gates of heaven and they say, okay, bring out your file. What's the cause of death? Brazilian butt lifts. Imagine BBL. Why? Bigger behind. Why? So let's talk about the semi-permanent and the permanents that we have these days. Once upon a time, all we just needed to do was to use glues and to extend the eyelashes. We want it to be fuller. But these days, we're having some people who want it to be permanent or maybe semi-permanent, and they go on to even have semi-permanent makeup. Please walk me through this.
So even me, I can't rationalize the idea of having permanent or semi-permanent makeup because first of all, you can't even change your look. So you look the same all the time, right? You're having same
Imagine.
color, same shape of eyebrows, whatever it is. I feel like at the end of the day, that's going to be boring, right? But let's talk about the risks involved with the eyelash one. Um, when you are applying it and all that, even for regular lashes, there's a risk of eye infection, right? If it's not done properly, because that area of your eye is quite delicate. So if you don't wash your hands properly and all that when applying it, you can have eye infection. Good thing is that infection can be treated, right? But if you are also applying it and you don't take precaution, this transparent part of your eye, right? That you can't it's covering the pupil. So that if you touch your eyeballs directly, it's called like the cornea and it can get scratched, right, over time. And when that happens, it becomes a problem for you, right? Um, Aside from that, the pigments from all those semi-permanent, first of all, you don't even know the kind of pigmentation they're using. Some of those pigments have been shown to cause skin cancers later on in the future. So we need to be careful with going for all these permanent and semi-permanent brows, tattoos, whatever it is, because some research has shown that they could cause skin cancer in the future. So those are about the risks associated with that. Apart from that, those lashes, when you try to, it's just like what we do with our hair. When you put the artificial one and then the original one starts to suffer. So sometimes in the process of removal, you take out your lashes or the actual lashes on that start to suffer. So they start to thin out and they fall off, right? So that's some of the side effects of having semi-permanent, permanent, or artificial lashes.
And we didn't even mention the part where some people go to quacks. I know maybe there are some licensed beauticians, but there are some quacks that they do anything. I remember seeing one video on Instagram and the way they were inserting the thing into the eye, I was scared.
Yeah,
Like you could go blind.
exactly. Exactly. Do you get?
And there's one that I was going to add, but I think it has eluded me just now. It's just really scary that people would go this length to want to have these things. Please be very careful. I know that there was a time I saw the video of someone who had, it was even henna application,
Yeah.
and she reacted so badly to it,
Yeah.
almost resulted in amputation of the hand simply because
Yes.
of henna.
Yes. Yes. That's an allergic reaction, right? And the thing is that you never know if you're allergic to something until you try it, right? So that's why we should always be careful, especially when you're putting something skin deep. It's always worse than something that's on the surface when you're going to react to it. So that's why we always say do your research before going for certain types of treatments.
Mm.
There's so much information available online, so you can't claim to be ignorant. You read about this treatment, you want to try it. Do extensive research online, consult your doctor, see is it okay for me? Your doctor has your medical history, they know the kind of allergies you've had in the past. Can you possibly be allergic to this? They'll be able to advise, don't do it, use with caution, all those kind of things. So it's important that people do research. That's what I'll just say.
Thank you. I'll take this message from Chimizie, who says, ironically, the countries where they import these drugs and co from rarely uses these things. Chinese women have flat bum while they manufacture silicone bombs for African women who are naturally endowed with them. I think it goes back to the issue of beauty standards that varies from continent to continent or from countries to countries. Over
Mhm.
there, in some Asian countries, the slimmer you are, the more beautiful you're regarded in some places. I remember the time I found out that once upon a time in China, I believe, that women who had small feet were the hallmark of beauty. And so because of that, they would tie their feet. Yes,
Wow.
it was an ancient practice then.
Mm.
So people will literally tie their feet, and as a result of that, it will be deformed.
Wow. Wow. No wonder their feet are always so small. It's not easy to get your size in China. Like me, I have a little bit of long feet and I cannot wear any like shoes made in China. They don't have my size.
Yeah. So
So that is
imagine being pressured by different beauty standards. It just
Mhm.
means that as the years change, your body changes. It makes no sense.
It makes no sense, especially because these trends sometimes fade. So what you are
Yeah.
going to get BBL and all of a sudden BBL is no longer in fashion. What are you going to do? You go and take it out again or what? Or you have permanent brows and all of a sudden they've changed the style of brows. What are you going to do?
I mean, now that you mention the brows, I remember back then in the 80s, it was
Mm,
tiny.
exactly. It used to be much thinner and longer, but now that has changed.
It's full. And these days we even have what we call feather brows. Yes.
Exactly.
My God. Let's move on. And this time we need to talk about slimming teas, pills, and slimming injections. Do
Mhm.
they work? What are the dangers involved?
So those limits is, for lack of a better word, they are just scam. It's a scam, right?
Mm,
I mean, they deceive you into thinking by just drinking something you will lose weight. Like how? What is the mechanism behind that? They will say it will burn fat. Really? It will just you just drink something and it just has to burn the fat. Then does it now select the areas of the body where the fat should burn? Because what if it goes to burn the fat in your bum? You that you want big bum and you're trying to burn fat in your tummy. So all those things, when you even sit down and think about it, sometimes women should ask themselves that, okay, really, how is drinking this tea supposed to make me lose weight, right? Um, so how do they work? A lot of these slimming teas, what they do is they put laxatives inside them. What's laxative? Something that makes you go to the toilet, right? So what happens is what you are actually losing is a lot of body fluid. You know, a lot of our body weight, like
mm,
at least 60% of our body weight is water, is fluid. So when you lose a lot of water, your weight will go down
mm,
significantly, right? But the downside of this is it can lead to dehydration, right? And what dehydration does is bad for your kidneys, right? Prolonged dehydration can actually lead to kidney injury or kidney damage. So you are not actually losing weight, you are losing water and electrolytes. So electrolytes are like the salt in our body, right? That also help to keep ourselves turgid and all that. So you are doing harm to your kidneys. And the worst part is when you stop taking this so-called slimming tea that is acting as a laxative, making you lose water, what's going to happen? You're going to start retaining all the water, the fluid, and everything you're drinking. And the weight gain is going to come back because at the end of the day, it was false. It was never real weight loss, right? So that's what people don't realize, that you are taking slimming tea because you want to lose weight, but what you are losing is fluid and electrolytes. And the moment you stop, everything is going to come back. And if you don't stop and you continue for a long time, at the end of the day, what you're going to do is damage your kidneys, right? So again, let's not try to be taking the shortcuts to these things. There's no shortcut. Unfortunately, there's no shortcut to losing weight, or there is no shortcut that does not have major side effects, right? You're going to choose between your health and looking good, right? So instead of trying to take slimming tea, work on your diet, portion control, less carbs, more protein, do the right thing. Yes, it's going to take a little longer because even that is not going to make you lose weight overnight. But at the end of the day, it's more sustainable, right? And it's healthy. It's a healthier way to look good.
Unfortunately for me, I'm sentenced to activity on social media. I have to be present there, or presence on social media, I mean to say. So yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
I saw a video,
Mm-hmm.
and this lady turned herself into dough. They were kneading her. Turns out that these days they have what is called body sculpting with rollers. Dr. O,
Yes,
rollers.
yes,
Like
yes.
rolling pin that they use for chin chin and the likes. They roll people into shape. Does that
Yes.
work?
To be honest, they said it works. I have no idea whether it works or not, right? But what I do know is that it could have some side effects, right? Because some of these things use they use these instruments that have, um, they have heat, they have
Yeah.
energy, like all this quantum energy, like energy passing through them, and that can actually, so the mechanism behind it is they call it, maybe some of them they call it fat freezing, right? Or maybe they are doing fat reduction or something like that, right? But the thing is that if it's not properly used, one of it can cause skin burns, right? And it can cause damage to some of the nerves in your skin, right? So, and most of this damage comes from prolonged use, right? Maybe once or twice might not really harm, but when you keep going for this treatment, because most times they will not tell you to come for only one treatment, they will say it has to be multiple treatments. When you are doing that over time, you can actually damage the nerve in your skin. And if the person that is using the machine doesn't know how to use it well, it can actually result to things like burns in your skin, right? So yes, maybe the side effects of this one or the risk of this one does not sound as grave or harmful as the other ones we've talked about. But at the end of the day, there are still side effects. And to be honest, the you asked, does it work? I doubt it will work. Like for it to work, you would have had to have lost a substantial amount of weight from exercise, right? You can't come in obese, do body sculpting, and turn to figure eight. Let's not deceive ourselves. That's not how fat. That's not how fat. But you can rub it all you like. You can knead it all you like. It's not going to disappear if you don't put in the work. That's just the truth. So it might work for people that are already looking slim, or maybe just gives this illusion of them looking a little bit slimmer, right? But for people that are big, come with big round fat tummy and expect that when they need it, it's going to you need it for 1 year. It's not going to go down if you don't do the exercise or if you
Big
don't
fat.
work on the proper diet. Right. So the bottom line is women should stop looking for shortcuts. It's not a bad thing to want to look good, but do it the right way.
Feels like women will do everything but the right thing as touching
Exactly.
beauty. It
Exactly.
makes no sense. I mean, God created you as a woman. You said, no, I'd rather be a pounded yam. Why?
Exactly.
We take another breather, and when we come back, we need to quickly touch on some of the do-it-yourself hacks that are spread on social media. And finally, we'll talk about the BBL. And just to go over again, the hazards that are associated with BBL. Yes, you will look good, you will look round. Unfortunately, it feels like everybody's looking the same from behind these days. Coupled with the fact that it feels like we have all the tailors sewing the same style for everybody. Corsets, extra padded hips, and there we
Mm-hmm.
go. So everybody is looking the same. From the back, you can say, ah, that is BC. She looks, turns back, turns out that's Caroline. Why? You're listening to Soul Sisters on Smooth 98.1.
Hi.
These women will not kill me.
They won't kill us. So.
Ah, when you watch some Nollywood movies,
Mhm.
you're wondering what is going on here. And
Is
for
it BBL,
some,
right?
not even, yeah, it does not match the body. Boom, boom. Why? Why? Some,
And I
it's
wonder
like,
if they don't even look at themselves in the mirror to see that this thing is not proportional. It's not making sense.
some, it looks like extra mounds of fufu behind.
Mm-hmm.
Others, it looks like when you try to squeeze pillow in there. Why? Should we blame men? Should we blame women?
To be honest, I think the men have a role to play because if they were not patronizing these women, then BBL will not be selling.
All right, we'll come in with that. Welcome aboard. You are listening to Soul Sisters on Smooth 98.1, 43 minutes past 11 o'clock. And if you're just joining us, I'm so sorry. You have missed out on quite a lot. But the good news is that you can catch up with us on YouTube. So that means you can go back to watch this later on at Smooth 981 FM Lagos. At Smooth 981 FM Lagos. And you can also join us quickly on WhatsApp. The WhatsApp line is 0911 999 0981. Again, 0911 999 0981. Chidozie on WhatsApp says, no slander of Chinese women will be condoned on this show. Chinese women have flat bum? No! Justice for Chinese women. But do they have flat bums or not? And speaking of bum, let's quickly talk about BBL before we go on to the other do-it-yourself hacks that people do at home. And behind the scene, we said, what exactly is responsible for the craze in BBL? Is it the men who seem to want a certain shape or the women who don't know who they are? And Dr. O said, well, maybe the men are also implicated in this because they are the ones who are patronizing or
Yeah.
the ones who are, what's the word? Demand and supply, who are demanding. So there is a supply.
Yeah.
Well,
100%, because if there was no demand, then there won't be supply. If people are not buying what you are selling, then you stop selling. So the more other women see that people that have BBL, they have successful careers in entertainment, they seem to be getting more of the attention from men. Of course, it's going to prompt them to think, okay, BBL is the answer if I want male attention or if I want to rise in my career in entertainment and things like that, right? Even real estate these days, you're seeing that it's BBL women that they are giving the focus to. So why would other women feel like I need to get BBL to be successful in this life? So we have to blame the people that are patronizing them. You can't blame the women alone, right? That's what I think.
Ah, let's talk about those things that people see online and they jump on without necessarily checking what could go wrong. For instance, I feel like if baking soda comes back to this life, it would want to change its name. So many things that people have decided to use baking soda for, almost to even mend their relationship. So let's talk, let's talk about those things that people need to be careful about when they see anything on socials before they apply it on their skin.
So just like I said, with anything you see, because everybody comes with so many different claims that this one works, that one works, down to there was even a time I saw something crazy that if you drink your urine, it will cleanse your system. And I'm like, oh my gosh, how did these people come up with these things? They call it urine therapy or something like that. So people will come up with literally anything, right? But you need to do your research. It's your body at the end of the day. You're the one that is going to face the consequences, right? If you jump on every trend and say, oh, this one's going to work for me, and you turn yourself to a lab rat, well, when the consequences come, you get to face it. So, I'm not saying everything you see on social media is bad or everything you see on social media is false, right? But you need to weed out the good from the bad by doing your own research. It's important we do our research, right? This baking soda you talked about, me, I'm just hearing for the first time. What I know that baking soda is used for is cleaning and baking. So I honestly don't know what beauty. What are they using baking soda for when it comes to beauty?
Part of it is to whiten or to brighten armpits.
Oh, okay. I'm just
Yeah.
hearing that one for the first time.
And not just the armpits, the women area. If it's dark,
Really?
oh yes. If it's
Oh
darker,
wow,
they'll
wow,
tell
wow.
you,
I'm actually just hearing that for the first time. You
oh
see,
yeah.
so and they do this without even researching. First of all, the skin in that pubic area is very sensitive. Even certain shaving creams, they'll say it's not recommended for the pubic area because they
Mm.
know how sensitive that area is. How much more even baking soda, right? So we need to do some research and not just jump on every trend that we see on social media, right? And then is it a crime for that area to be dark?
We should blame the men
Why
again.
are we trying to whiten it?
We have to blame the men again at this point, because I'm not certain why. Ah, well, finally, let's talk about the craze for a flawless glass skin and how we want to look a certain way, the face, the skin, because of whatever reasons. And
Mm,
so Quickly talk to me about the role of dermatologists and why people need to look for their or make their dermatologists their friends.
Yeah, so dermatologists, for people that don't know, dermatologists are skin doctors, right? And um seeing a dermatologist is not just about good skin. Sometimes they also treat people that have allergic reactions, different types of allergic reactions, psoriasis, eczema, and all that. So people have different skin types, right? Some people have oily skin, some people have dry skin, some people have medium type skin, right? A visit to your dermatologist will help you, first of all, learn what your skin type is, right? It will help you learn what is good for your skin and what is not, right? And for some people, they are prone to certain things like acne, all that. The dermatology can do skin type testing, recommend the right type of treatment for you. Sometimes, even treatment for acne might not be taking drugs or applying creams. It might just be as simple as washing your face regularly, morning, evening, cleansing it regularly, right? Things like that. So, it's important that, especially if you have issues with your skin, right? Or you feel like you want to go for a certain type of treatment, or even down to the cosmetics you're using on your face, creams, makeup. You might want to check with your dermatologist. Is this compatible with my skin? Could this be harmful to my skin? What are the possible effects this can have on my skin, right? So it doesn't hurt to have a dermatologist consultation. We're not saying that all treatments are bad. In fact, um, some dermatologists, specialized dermatologists, are the ones offering some of these beauty treatments. But then again, they are licensed, right? So they know the precautions to take when administering. They know the right dosage, right? And they can, for the most part, alleviate some of these risks that are involved with unlicensed and quack practitioners being the one administering it. So yeah, it's important to see a dermatologist if you're concerned about anything about your skin or cosmetics to use and all that.
Thank you very much. I'll take the last round of messages as we wrap it up. Arthur says, leave men out of this discussion. No, no, Arthur, somebody must be blamed. So we'll look for
Yes.
somebody to blame. Just kidding. And Wilson says, Madam Oluwaseun, I disagree with you. It is not that the men demand and that is why the women supply. I consider it foolishness for a lady to increase the natural size of her backside because at the end of the day, there are consequences. Everybody is not the same. While some women have big bum bum naturally, others do not. And so a man will just go for what he wants. It does not make sense for a man to insist that his woman should go for BBL. He sees her before approaching her, and for some women, their bum increase naturally. So men have no blame here, Madam Shion.
They are just
This
trying to remove themselves.
Now imagine Wilson, another man comes to counter you. Chimize says, "Okay, we accept the blame with our full chest. Make them continue." Of course, but thank you so much for your time this morning, Dr. O. Thank you for explaining in details and helping us to see the consequences that are there. And I hope that at least one person is going to take note of this and maybe share with other people, encourage other women around them, and most importantly, help the younger ones who are coming behind. Because turns out that the age for people to start their body alteration procedure has lessened. Once upon a time, it used to be in the 20s. These days, we have teenagers who have started their body alteration. And for the older ones, there is no limit. I mean, I don't know if you've seen pictures of Kris Jenner online.
This
That's
question.
Kim Kardashian's mom.
Oh no, I haven't.
Oh, like I mentioned, I'm sentenced to being active on on social media. So she's reduced her face, whatever is going on with her face. But guess what? She's been hiding her hands because the hands don't lie.
Hmm.
Yeah, so because of that, you're most likely going to see her wear gloves these days
Wow.
and not show it or wearing clothes that cover the hand more.
Hmm.
But where am I really going with this? As a society, it feels like we have made aging the devil and nobody wants to age gracefully.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to maybe come back again and talk about this, Dr. O, talking about aging and why nobody wants to grow older these days.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody wants to look sweet 16, which is not bad. You can actually achieve it by doing the right things. Like I always say, sleep. Sleep is the number one beauty treatment. Adequate sleep. We every adult needs at least 8 hours of sleep. But yeah, because of lifestyle, we live in Lagos, there's traffic all the time. We don't get to have up to even maybe 4 hours of sleep, right? But if you can take time sometimes to get 6 to 8 hours of sleep, your body will thank you to rejuvenate your body, your skin, everything. You will glow naturally. Just sleep well, drink water, that stay hydrated, and eat your fruits and veggies. You will glow. You will even be aging backwards, right? So all these things, age and all that, is a function of stress most times, right?
Mm.
When your body is going through so much physical stress, mental stress, you start aging faster than you should, right? So rather than looking to artificial fixes, let's start with the natural, affordable, and risk-free one. Sleep well, eat well.
In some few words, I need you to answer this question from YouTube from Dara, who says, I don't know if my question relates, but are weight loss and weight gain syrup good? I heard it causes hormonal imbalance.
No, they're not good. Right. Anything that you have to take like artificially to induce certain effects in your body will definitely have side effects on your organs. So no, it's not recommended. The best way to lose weight, like I said, is diet and exercise. Is the most risk-free way to lose weight. Yes, it's going to take much longer, but at the end of the year, the day is more sustainable, and it doesn't have any side effects if done the
And on
right
that
way.
note, we have come to the end of Soul Sisters for this Wednesday, 22nd of October, 2025. Thank you, Dr. O, for being my guest. And you can find Dr. O across all socials at Check with Dr. O, right?
Yes, 100%. I check with Dr. O. Thank you so much for having me.
It's a pleasure. And I will drag you back so that we can talk about more things.
For sure. Anytime.
Thank you. And we continue the show, of course, at 12 o'clock. It will be you and I on the Casbah, where we're having such a good time listening to African music and just celebrating our culture, our heritage, and what comes out of Africa. My name is Oluwaseun Olusegun.
This is your girl, and you're listening.
We will not kill ourselves. We'll not be the end of ourselves.
We want a lot, like a lot. When you told me the baking soda, I was like, okay, I've not even
Yeah.
heard of this one.
Oh yes, they use it for the armpits and for their vagina to brighten
Wow,
up and all the nonsense. Yeah, they
wow,
do. They do so
wow.
much. It's
That's
crazy.
interesting.
I
I'm
even
sure there's
forgot.
so much more that we've not even heard of that is going on.
I forgot to mention the vagina steaming thing.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, that one.
is how do you turn it to momo?
I don't
Disrupting the
understand
entire
too.
pH balance.
Exactly, disrupting everything in the name of what they say you're cleansing. What are you cleansing? What like
And
ah
that's why I said maybe the men have they are to be blamed because you can't tell me you're cleansing it. You're cleansing it for something. There
exactly.
is
You're not just
something.
cleansing it to go and sit down in your house.
Of course, the men are not to be blamed. They are adults, they make decisions for themselves. So
Hmm.
it is just terrible. Thank you, Dr. O. Let me allow you go.
Thank you for having me.
I'll share
Enjoyed
the
my
link with you in case you want to make a quote of it.
yes, yes.